fine. That's fine. Okay. So, Rahul, welcome to Out of the Hood with Hamza.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so, basically, when I started this podcast, it was mainly like for entrepreneurs, like artists, people like me, just to get a platform to sort of communicate their message to people.
Yeah.
Because it's based on a simple premise that there is some story or learning to take from everyone's life. uh, and that's how we sort of run the show as well. Now,
Perfect.
when it comes to you, I've been like I don't think we talk that much, but I've been following your
We
work,
didn't. Yeah.
your
Thank you
music a
so much.
lot, and I've seen all those YouTube videos. I have seen all the reels that you put up on Instagram. I especially
Thank
love
you.
the Hindi songs because that's my genre.
Thank you. Thank you.
So lovely work there. But this podcast is about your new project and a new song that you're gonna release. So let's just
Yes.
start by you explaining the whole story. First of all, obviously, you'll introduce what it's called, the song, the whole story,
Okay.
and yeah, we'll take it from there.
Okay, done. So, the name of the song is actually Dasta. This is the second song that I've written in Hindi. It actually isn't the first. I won't say what the name of the first song is. You guys have to stay tuned after this one to hear what that is about.
Hmm.
So, honestly, before Dasta, I'd written a song which was actually my first song in Hindi. And being so I come from an IB background where many people find this funny. I actually took Hindi as an HL subject in IB. So being a higher level student of your own language, I think it's something that helped me really kind of, find the words that I've liked to like write and use.
Right.
The song Dasta really came about after. So there are two ways to perceive Dasta. The first way is, which is my perspective, which is about really losing someone, and in a certain way, with Dasta, I mean, losing someone, you never know when you're going to lose someone in your life, right? That is something that you have no control over. Obviously, when someone's sick, you do know that they will go eventually, but nothing really prepares you for that moment in time, and it is something that you can't control. So coming back on that, Dasta in Hindi means destiny, it means fate.
Hmm.
In a way, I knew. So the person I'm talking about is actually a family member, and she passed away because of cancer.
Okay.
She had a long fight with it for the last since about 2012, 2013, and she really, I mean, she's a warrior, she's a tigress, and she fought valiantly. And obviously, after a certain point, she couldn't anymore, which is why we're here today. I think it's because of her. And when she really went, I didn't know how to kind of process it. I didn't know what was happening in the moment because I mean, yeah, there was a little uncertainty. You knew this was gonna happen, but when it really hit,
Right.
it never really like it. So for like 2 months after that, like there was a period in my life where I kind of went into my own cocoon, kind of went into my own shell because I mean, yeah, you do have your close friends, you have your family that are also going through with you, like
Hmm.
going through the whole thing with you, but nobody, like I mean, nobody really understands what you feel, right? And in a way, I didn't know how to like kind of let this out, but I did in a certain way. Funny story. So it was a month and a half after she had gone, and so I finally went out with my friends. I got really, really, really drunk. I came back at 4:35 in the morning, and for some reason, I just sat and I played three chords. I played these three chords, and I'm like, oh, I can't sit anymore. I need to go to the bed. I need to pass out.
Hmm.
Shortly after this time, I met a friend of mine who was like, you always write in English. Why don't you try writing in Hindi?
Hmm.
I was like, yes, chalo, let's give that a go. I wrote my first song in Hindi, and while I was sitting to complete it took me 4 hours to complete that song. In the last 5 minutes, I kind of stumbled upon these chords again, which was G, D, G, and then it went into a lovely minor. So whenever you play a minor chord, it's
Hmm.
a lot of emotion. And the first three lines were thinking about you since Tuesday, didn't know who to call. तू मेरे आसपास नहीं. I don't know why the bilingual nature, maybe because I'm so set in writing in English, but then
Hmm.
this Hindi feeling really took over. And So fast forward to Dasta, it is my journey about loss. It is also my journey about accepting this certain loss. Because the whole song, so Hamza, I started writing this song on the 14th of November.
Okay.
The person who I'm talking about, she passed away on the 14th of September. It was exactly 3 months after.
Hmm.
And funny thing is, whenever I sit to write a new song, I always put a date. It's like an old habit whenever I'm writing something. And it took me 4 weeks to finish this song. Now, having written this, the whole song, there was a line in the song which says, I know we'll meet again someday, which is the last line of the second verse right before I go back into my chorus. And that is, in a way, with music, you kind of like want to summarize everything into 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever you're comfortable with. And that kind of, takes you as a person on a journey, and it also takes people who are listening around you on their own journey.
Right.
So, speaking about the two viewpoints of this, for me, when I started writing this song, I honestly thought I'm writing about a love song. I'm
Hmm.
writing about a love song when I'm writing about me not being with the other person anymore, with me not being, I lost the person I love. And I didn't really take a step back and look at the bigger picture. I was looking through smaller, you're going to screenshot that later and put it up, I know that. Through
That's
a
like gonna be
small,
the clickbait.
Rahul with his eyes like this.
Done, done, taken.
And in all honesty, my God. And in all honesty, I thought I was writing about love. And 4 weeks after, when I finally wrote the last line, which is my last line to the like to my audience, of like the last thing I want to say, it took me 2 weeks to actually write the last line. And I finished the song in 2 weeks. It took me another 2 weeks to finish the last line. And upon arriving on that last line, I was sitting with a friend who's also a producer. Shout out to Varun Agniotri. He's from Indore. He studied in Berkeley. He's helped me produce the track.
Okay.
And he was like, "Bro, I think our theme is wrong." So honestly, I thought the holistic theme of the song was love, but it turns out that the holistic theme of the song was loss. Now, the goosebump part about this is that when you hear the whole song, nowhere in the song am I saying that I want you back. Nowhere in the song am I saying that yeah, I miss you, but I don't see you anymore. There are lines in the song which says that ख्वाबों में हम थे महफूज से, which means that in my dreams, in my fantasy, you were safe. Thoughts of you still haunt me now. साथ हो तुम हर पल मेरे फिर भी दूरी थी कहीं. Which made me realize that I'm not really talking about a person who's on like in this realm, who's on this plane, who is someone I can go and meet. Which later made me realize that okay, I am writing about loss. Now, my girlfriend actually, that same night when I had this revelation, my eureka moment, I came back home and I told this to her. And she asked me, when did the said person go? I said 14th September. And 14th September in my mind, all of this while, was a Thursday. Now, the funny part here is, and the goosebumpish part here is, everybody asks me, why are you writing Tuesday? You can write Friday, you can write Saturday, you can write Sunday, it sounds better.
Hmm.
And all this while, like, there were so many feelings, Hamza, where I felt like I put it all in a bottle, and subconsciously, I didn't want to talk about it anymore, or I didn't want to feel it anymore. And so many people told me, why are you writing Tuesday? What is the significance of Tuesday? I'm like, I don't know, dude, it just sounds right. Fast forward 4 weeks later, Brie actually pointed it out saying that, dude, when did the person go? And I was like, 14th September. And she's like, dude, 14th September was a Tuesday. And I was like, no way, dude, 14th September is a Thursday. She's
Hmm.
like, and I literally fought with her. I'm like, you're going to tell me when the person I lost went. She's like, no, I'm not fighting with you. I'm not trying to argue, but just go look it up. And like, part of me didn't want to, and part of me knew. So that was the whole like that night. I remember so clearly. It was a Sunday, and I'd come home, and dude, I was almost in tears. I feel like this is an ode to her. I feel like this is my final send off for her. I also don't believe in God. I don't look at signs and stuff like that. It's a very controversial topic, so we don't put that out. And in a certain way, I feel like I heard this melody in my sleep, And not many people believe me. My friends make fun of me. They're like, "Yeah, I was going to say this because it sounds this thing." I feel and more than anything, was like, I was like looking for a sign. I feel like she gave this to me, and I'm eternally grateful for that. So that is where Dastan comes from. That is where it stems from. Yeah,
That's amazing, man. And like when you listen to this song from like a third person, for example me, there's a very like basic understanding that you have, and you usually focus on only what the lyrics say. But now that you're explaining it to me
yeah.
in so much depth, it means so much more, and I can relate it to so many other different
It means so much
relationships
more.
in my
Yeah,
life. You know, so I think that's the beauty of music. And I think
it
music in
really is.
general
It really
is
is.
brings out like a divine side of yours. I discovered it in my life later on
It
when I
does.
just picked up a guitar and like went for it. You know, so it's
By the way,
amazing.
I've seen your videos, man. You're good as well.
I
Stop. Like
try.
you should post more. You really
I
should post more.
I try. Thank you, man. So I think this sums up so much about like the relationship, the story, how you explain it as a song of loss and not one of love, and how you came to that, and it's amazing. Uh, it this is an inspiration to me in several ways, and that's the whole point. It's come out beautifully. I want you to like go into a different dimension of you as a songwriter and a singer, and I want you to sort of utilize the same scene and like inspire other songwriters in a way that there are a lot of people who write their songs are not confident enough in what they're trying to
100%.
communicate, right?
100%.
And they get lost somewhere.
100%.
So what would like your message in a way be to them in order to produce better or bring their message out of the deeper meaning of the song?
Excuse me. In all honesty, dude, just like okay, so anything in life, I mean, it stems from an experience. There has to be a stimuli for you to have a reaction.
Hmm.
A reaction won't come from nothing, right? Where there's fire, there has to be smoke, or where there's smoke, there has to be fire. And in all honesty, there are so many instances in life. See, number one, you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself enough to be comfortable in your own skin. And I know that is not an easy feat. It's not easy for me to just say that, oh, you gotta be comfortable in your own skin. There are many people who aren't.
Hmm.
And in fact, this also, Hamza, I wrote this song in let me check the date, it's 2021 if I'm not mistaken. I wrote it in 2021 because that is when Bua left. And we are sitting in Jan 2023.
Hmm.
It's taken me almost a year and a half to finally also accept it. I mean, the song was ready in March 2022. I could have put it
Yeah.
out then, but there was a part of me that was not ready. There was a part of me that said, what are people going to think? What if they don't want to listen to my story? And as the time progressed, I kind of realized that you have to be fine with what happens to you, take your time, process it. But at the end of the day, like, you gotta write what you feel, you gotta write what you see, you gotta put it down for what it is. Because if you don't, then number one, you're not being true to yourself. Number two, people won't, people are scared. We are the few lucky ones who can say what we feel. And also, this helps you bridge a gap with your audience who may be going through the same thing but will never have the ability or the strength or the courage rather to speak about it. So being true to yourself and writing what you see for what it like writing it you're writing it as you see it is the most important thing. And for future musicians and artists, dude, there are so many things that are inside of you that you okay, let me put it in the simplest form. It's like an old tap.
Hmm.
And I am not going to take credit for this analogy because it's not mine. It's one of my favorite artists' analogy. His name is Ed Sheeran.
Okay.
He describes writing, he describes artistry as an old tap. The minute you open the old tap, there's going to be loads of dirty water that is going to be flowing out. There's going to be shit water, there's going to be more shit water, and there's going to be so much more shit water. But
Mhm.
finally, after leaving that tap open for sometimes days, years, months, weeks, whatever it may take you, there's finally going to be that little stream of clean water. Don't shut your
Yeah.
tap. Let your tap be open, dude. There are so many people out there who are willing to listen. And honestly, write what you feel, do what you feel. There are going to be many people along the way who are going to tell you, really, you want to do music and you want to write,
Mhm.
you want to do this. What if people make fun of you? I mean, cool. There will, dude, even if there's one person that I've touched with my song, I'm happy. Recently, someone asked me, would you have 1 million people who know you? Or would you have 1,000 people who listen to your music every single day? I don't think you need to know my answer. It's very evident.
Yeah.
I'd rather have 1,000 people who listen to my music every day for who I am. Because, I mean, acceptance comes second, man. Being true to yourself is something we owe to ourselves. And you can't be true to yourself if you don't love yourself. So yeah, man, just love yourself a little more. That's all I want to say to you
Absolutely.
guys.
It all resonates and it sounds so like repetitive because I said the same thing when I started out with the podcast, being like, I don't want so many listeners. I want 1,000 listeners who actually listen to what I have to say and utilize it in some way. It's
Exactly.
better than someone just like putting a
Exactly.
like and like moving ahead, in life. So
Because you're just scrolling,
yeah.
but there's someone who comes back to you for you, then you really won in life, right?
Right. And
So
also that
I
like
think
this song will surely be on my playlist. Like I have a everyday playlist and I'm gonna add it. I had to tell you that and I remembered and it's
thank you
gonna be
so
there.
much.
It's gonna
Thank
be
you,
there
thank
for
you,
sure.
thank you so much.
Because
Thank
I
you so
I
much.
I don't listen to like a lot of like for example, some like one of my favorite artists is Anuv Jain, and again because I relate to the lyrics a lot in several different places.
Same.
So,
What's your favorite song? Three, two,
currently
one.
it's Riha. Currently it's Riha. I
Oh
don't
my
know which
God.
one you like. Which one do you like?
Gul.
Okay.
Gul.
Even that's good. Even that's good.
It's
Crazy man.
it's an
Amazing.
amazing. He is an amazing artist, and dude, he says what he feels.
Absolutely.
I mean, and it takes practice to be able to say it so well.
Hmm.
But hey, nonetheless, you gotta keep putting your time at it, man. Like one day it's gonna work.
That's amazing. So, I like to like keep the podcast usually very short because the listener span is very short again. Like people like
I
they want
agree
to
with
quickly
you.
move on to the next thing. But there's something important like for me to ask you to do before like I reach the end of my podcast, and that's for you to like just
100%.
hum 2 lines of the song because that'll be like crazy, and that's also gonna be like a convert into a reel, and that's what I'm gonna put up, and that's going to get my listeners to come in and actually listen to your story. So 2 lines, maybe the ones that you find the most important, which you again explained. Maybe you can sing those for us.
Okay, done. Um, so honestly, my favorite lines from the whole song are the first 3 lines.
Hmm.
So it goes like, I'm really sorry I have a cold, number one, and I have a really bad throat. You
Not
can
at
probably
all.
hear it. Drinking some ajwain water. I don't know how it's helping me, but it's helping me. Um,
Go for it. Go for
you
it.
know how your moms are, they just give you something, you gotta do it. Okay, so it goes like this. Putting me on the spot, man, Hamza. Um, Thinking about you since Tuesday. Didn't know who to call. तू मेरे आस पास नहीं मुसाफिर हूँ यहाँ मैं didn't know where I was but you were right there in my dreams ख्वाबों में हम थे महफूज से thoughts of you still haunt me now साथ हो तुम हर पल मेरे फिर भी ये दूरी सी कहीं आँखों के पलकों पे पुराने पन्नों में लिखी सी ये दास्तां तुम्हारी और मेरी तुम्हारी तुम्हारी और मेरी. Thank you.
It's freaking crazy, man. It didn't need any. It didn't need any music. Oh, that's
I
amazing.
was going to ask you, can I connect my Logic? Probably play a little of the piano from the background.
That's absolutely fucking crazy, man. I loved it. Like
Like, hey
I
man,
don't
I
know if
didn't
you
know we
saw
could
me.
cuss on this fucking podcast.
You can. I don't give a shit what people have to say. I do it sometimes, but it was so good that I had to use those words, man. Uh,
Thank you so much, bro. Thank you so
and
much for your time. It really means a lot.
you had your eyes shut, but I was repeating like the chorus lines. I don't know if you saw it because I already like
I
the song
couldn't.
is in my mind, but you'll see it in the recording for sure. So
Thank
that's
you.
crazy.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much for your time, Rahul. I want you to just tell people when the song is coming out and where they can catch it before we shut the podcast.
Okay, so the song comes out on the 20th of January, which is when you guys will see this video on Sunday, I'm guessing, is probably the week after. And you guys can hear it anywhere and everywhere. You can hear it on Apple Music, Spotify, Geo, Savan, Ghana, Deezer, anything is going to be on YouTube as well. Surprise, I won't tell y'all if there's a video or not because the time this is coming out will probably coincide with what I have planned. So let's see, yeah. And yeah, it's going to be on YouTube Music as well, not on YouTube. So hope you guys see it and thank you in advance for hearing it. And thank you, Hamza, for being a lovely host. This is my first podcast. I was really texting him in the middle saying that, you know what, bro, I'm not here to do all these things. I love talking and stuff like that, but he made me feel so warm. Thank you to Hamza. Thank you so much, bro, for your time and everything.
Thank you for being there, and I hopefully we'll jam soon together and maybe turn that into
100%, bro.
yeah, it'll be
110%. You know, I live
crazy.
very close to you, by the way. I see you walking on Pali Hill very often.
You didn't have to say that on the podcast, but okay.
We don't know where I live, but we don't know. We know where Hamza lives, the vicinity.
Oh shit. But anyways, man, thank you so much. And I'm really looking forward to all of it. I'm gonna put your links in the podcast bio so people are gonna go
Thank you
follow
so
you,
much.
follow your music because I see like a really bright future for you in this industry. You've got the personality, you've got the voice, you have the mind to like create amazing songs. So I don't see what's missing, right? So 100% to that. And hope to meet you. See you soon, man. Thank you so much for being
Same
here.
here. Thank you so much for having me, bro. It was a pleasure.
Bye. Bye. Bye, bro.
Take care.